What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show here live on the Outlaw Nation Twitch channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by my better half over there, Wendy Lee. How are you, Wendy?
Hey, I'm doing so good. I'm a little stressed out right now because we know there was a reason why we moved the show to 1 p.m. today.
Yes.
So thank you to John for being super accommodating and for understanding my love of needing to see these people and get these tickets for Stray Kids.
Keep going, yeah?
Yeah, Stray Kids.
Stray Kids.
Yeah.
This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Stray Kids. This is something that Wendy needs to happen, so we moved it up to 1 p.m. today. Look at that. She's ready to go, trying to get the tickets. And we've got, what do we got? We've got a special guest today who also shares the love of K-pop coming up a little bit later on the show. Laura Sirikul is going to join us to talk about her experiences with BTS, being in Vegas, following them. We got some pictures to show you. We got the fun stuff going on here with Laura. She'll be joining us in about half an hour to hang out with us, which is a lot of fun. So we shall see if Wendy and Laura can get those tickets for Stray Kids, which is a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to hearing the updates and see if they got through for sure.
If I don't get this, I'm going to cry in bed all day. I'm just wipe my entire work schedule, and I'm just going to sit with ice cream and cry.
Wow. That's a strong statement.
I need to see them.
Fair enough. I respect that. We got a lot to get into here today, too. We got a lot of entertainment news we want to talk about and go through. Remember, the Streamlabs are open there above our heads in the middle, as Wendy is pointing to it. Also, bits and cheers are much appreciated for this afternoon special 1 o'clock in the afternoon start time for the John and Wendy Show. So let's get it going already. Brennan in here, Zach Mendoza in here, Colossus FM who subscribed. Thank you, Colossus. So Wendy, let's get it going since we've got limited time. Where shall we start?
Yeah, let's do some breaking news today. So I just read that for Doctor Strange, as an exclusive reported by The Hollywood Reporter, has been quote unquote banned in Saudi Arabia. And it's so here's the thing is that the film, I think, I'm freezing. Okay, there we go. The film is literally no one knows other than what we've seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
Has been released anywhere other than we know what characters are definitely going to be in the film.
Yeah.
What characters we think are going to be in the film. Yeah. But Marvel, knock on wood, have been really good about keeping things, under lock and key. Right. So I'm surprised that already prior to the release of the film, the country's already banned it. So this is a rumor, and it looks like with Hollywood Reporter, I guess we can confirm that that's the decision. Yeah. So let's see here. Supposedly, the decision to ban is due to LGBTQ issues.
Yes.
And to me, from what I know of the movie so far, that's literally just about one queer character.
Yeah. America Chavez.
Yeah. Which I, in my own little bubble, does not find that to be a reason to ban a film.
Yeah.
For a whole country. I feel like that to me is almost you're erasing these people and their voices.
Yeah.
You haven't even seen what she can do in the film yet. You don't know anything. Yeah. So I was honestly, the more I read about this, the more kind of frustrated I got with it that I almost clicked out of the article. What do you think of this ban?
It's a fascinating thing. I get it that we want to respect other people's cultures. We want to respect the sovereignty of that. But also, you come into your own mind of like, hey, this is what's right. This is what's right, to let people live and let live in their lives, doing their things, as long as they're not hurting other people. And this idea that we want to ban, or that a certain section of this world wants to ban movies from appearing in that area because of the fear that it could be supporting that lifestyle, rather than kind of showing this as if there are no gay people in the Middle East or in those countries, which is ridiculous because there are. And so it's just frustrating on so many levels to see this happening. This happened with Eternals, with Chloe Zhao's Eternals, with the same-sex couple there, and the kiss that happened with Fastos. That got banned over there. West Side Story got banned because of the transgender portrayal of anybody's. Which was portrayed by non-binary actress Iris Menas. So this is no surprise, sadly and unfortunately, and clear. But what it does show us, though, is that they are going to make it clear that America Chavez is gay in the movie. So I think that's a positive on so many levels. Moving forward here, we have Disney battling the crazed Ron DeSantis down there in Florida about the Don't Say Gay bill, who is, thinking he's running his own Nazi-esque type approach to governing down there in Florida. And he is trying to kind of stamp out Disney. He signed the bill minutes ago that supports what they voted on yesterday to essentially take the exemption status away from Disney, which will go into effect a year from now. So it's really kind of a ceremonial thing, but it pushes the idea that LGBTQ people are somehow lesser than straight people. And this mentality, I cannot believe that it still exists in our world, with numerous examples of negative things that have happened to people who have pushed agendas of seeing other people of color, other people's sexual orientation as being lesser than. There are numerous examples of how evil those people are and were seen to be, and the terrible actions that they took to reinforce their beliefs. And so it is a lot frustrating when you see this happening in the Middle Eastern countries, especially because a lot of them started claiming that they're a little more progressive. But now we're seeing these films being banned, and it's so unfortunate because I imagine, Wendy, there's a strong LGBTQ community plus community there in the Middle Eastern countries that is starving for this kind of entertainment, starving for to be seen on screen in these big movies.
Yeah, especially when we say, we always say this, as people of color, like we say, oh, representation matters, but that isn't only for the people of color. It's also for the LGBTQ community. So it is frustrating to hear. And then I'm seeing Jeremy 32 Miller's comment here in the chat, who says Saudi Arabia just allowed women to drive cars. So this type of stuff isn't surprising.
Yeah.
And I like culture, that's like, I want to kind of respect, but also in my own thinking. And I'm just like, you really think if you don't show it, that means queer people don't exist, you're a country or you're a culture?
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's not how the Force works.
That's the whole word.
I feel like they need Harrison Ford to step in and say that's not how the Force works. Because it's not.
No. And the same thing happened with Fantastic Beasts recently, Wendy. They had to take out a line. Warner Brothers took out a line from the movie that inferred the gay relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. And the thing is, and my friend Michael Vogel from the Geek Buddies pointed this out, if they only had to take out one line, then that relationship wasn't that stressed in that movie. And it should have been stressed a lot more, considering how much J.K. Rowling made a big deal about announcing the fact that Dumbledore was gay and had the relationship with Grindelwald. So clearly Warner Brothers trying to have their cake and eat it too. Yes, that's the problem when you get with these studios. And I'm not trying to denigrate the studios, just trying to tell how it is. These studios see the bottom line. Perry and I used to battle about this all the time on Collider Movie Talk. The difference between studio, it's not show, make you feel good, put a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart. It's show business. And these studios are about making money. Yes, if they make art and they win awards, it's great, because you know what it leads to? More money. That's what they care about. And the prestige of it all is only about getting more money and attracting great directors, great actors, great producers to come work for them so they can make more money. And so when you look at the studios allowing these films to be banned or edited in a certain way, it is because they know these areas, these regions, they can make money in those areas. So they want to adjust their film to be able to make money. And if they can't adjust it, then, they have to take the loss. So it's not always a good thing. And that's how studios operate, ladies and gentlemen. They're about the bottom dollar. They got board members, they got investors, they got profit they need to make. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of grandstanding from studios most of the time on issues like this. So
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I hope to one day that we stop seeing just these weird bans and censorships.
Yeah. Censorship.
That's really all we can say, because it's not like we as just individuals can control that. It's really up to the country. So yeah, I don't know. Then how do people see that? I'm not gonna get into that part, because I'm wondering, like, the people who really want to, imagine all the big Marvel fans there. Like, how are they gonna go see this film?
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to our next breaking topic here?
Yep.
So you and I talked a lot in the past weeks since Everything Everywhere All at Once came out. So I just wanted to put this in a topic as kind of a celebratory part of the show, because it has crossed the 20 million mark.
Yeah.
And it's become the film has become the fourth highest grossing film for A24. And this film's getting great traction. I would love to see more love for it. I think obviously the love for Michelle Yeoh has always been
Yeah.
there, but I think so often we only associate her with quote unquote action films, and she hadn't been given the opportunity. I mean, more so slowly, yes. Especially we got to see her playing the mom in Crazy Rich Asians, but this really dives into all sorts of emotions and feels, and it taps into her flexibility as an actor that has always been there, has always been able to show. So I think I would love everybody to go and see this film if they haven't already, and kind of change their mindset of like, oh, indie film pass, because indie films, that's where the good surprises are a lot of the times.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people were complaining that this film was only making 13 million or 18 million. I'm like, you're not looking at this correctly. The film is doing well for the market that it's in. Do you know what I'm saying? With post-COVID, well, not post-COVID, but with COVID and the pandemic and all this kind of stuff and the lower numbers that are coming back for a lot of these original films, it's doing really well. Since it debuted on March 25th, it is averaging about $500K to $50K per theater average, which ranks as the best limited debut in theater average to date in 2022. It was behind Licorice Pizza in terms of the average, but its domestic gross has already surpassed Licorice Pizza, thank God, and the French Dispatch, which only came out at 16 million. So this proves the legs that this film has, and it's an unusual film. It is a multiverse type film, but it comes down to a real sweet sentimental story about family here with Michelle Yeoh, as you said, Wendy, leading the way. Stephanie Hsu, Ke Huy Quan, just so fantastic throughout the movie, all three of them and their relationship here. And Michelle Yeoh with Star Trek Discovery, going back to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, there have been these opportunities for her in the world market and in the domestic market here in the States to show a little bit of what she can do. But this is the one film that has really kind of woken people up a lot to the multiple layers that she can bring to a role and the complexities, emotional complexities she can bring to a role for sure. So to hear it doing so well is such a positive right now. And it's only behind Uncut Gems, Lady Bird, and Hereditary. And it's about to take over Moonlight, which is only a 20 years old. So, and that won Best Picture.
Yeah.
So
I see Jeremy saying here in the chat, I know it's super early for awards talk, but I really hope Michelle Yeoh gets an Oscar nomination. That'd be fantastic. I don't think that's something that she looks for.
No.
I think she truly enjoys being an artist and a performer, but it would be a nice recognition for all the work that she's done.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, save some nominations for Ke Huy Quan.
Oh my God!
How do I say
best comeback story?
Yeah, Ke Huy Quan, who's been fantastic and doing the interviews and really revealing a lot of himself and all that kind of stuff. So yes, it would be great to see him get a nomination for Best Supporting Actor as well in the film. That would be fun. And I don't know, Jamie Lee Curtis. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Great. The whole cast, best ensemble for SAG Awards.
Put it down, SAG. Put it down.
There it is. The vote's done for you.
All right, where are we off to next here, Wendy?
Well, since we're talking about, box office numbers, let's talk about numbers on the other side of things. And we're talking about budgets for TV shows such as the upcoming Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power show, reportedly costing more than $50 million per episode.
Yeah.
Per episode. So, we've seen bits and pieces of the show via the trailers. I think the fans are a little divided on this. As a Lord of the Rings fan, I want to support. I'm curious about the story. I want to see it, but I can also understand the concerns. But I'm leaning more of the positive side of it because I want to see how they play it up. But according to this report that you sent, this is one of the most expensive shows, perhaps, in production. According to the article here, it's more than what they spent on over at Netflix for Stranger Things season 4 is also more expensive than some of the episodes for Game of Thrones.
Is that crazy or what? Is that insane?
That's insane. I don't feel like I can see that in the trailers. Can you?
If you whisper it, they're still going to hear you. No, I don't know.
I'm not saying it looks bad. I just don't feel like I'm saying I'm not seeing the 58 mil.
Yeah,
episode.
look, I clearly they have a authenticity they want to bring to the show here. They're spending an insane amount of money per episode. I mean, I'm sure smaller filmmakers are looking at how much they're spending per episode and going, give me that for 3 movies. I can make you 3 movies for that, or I can make you 4 movies for that. But this is the situation. They've got the money to spend. Bezos ain't short on cash. And so this their approach to this is certainly one they want to wow people into liking the show. And already there's been criticism because of the diversity with the characters in the show, which I think is ridiculous.
Yep.
And so clearly they want to really kind of blow people away with what they're presenting. I hope it's a hit, because that much of a price tag per show is just insane. And I'm from a time when Rome was canceled by HBO for being, I think it was $3 to $6 million an episode or something. And it was a co-finance with the BBC. HBO didn't even have to take the full bill this show. And you could do a whole season off what they're paying for one episode of this Lord of the Rings show that Amazon is. So it's just insane. And we're seeing these numbers rise. We had a big debate on social media yesterday. There was a big debate about how much Stranger Things cost. $30 million per episode, the new season of Stranger Things. And then it was revealed just a few hours later that the new Game of Thrones series that's coming with Matt Smith and other people here is only $20 million an episode. So clearly the subscriber money is being put to use for these films, or these series rather. And it is just incredible to hear these numbers, Wendy. A lot of people have been saying, well, these shows are look at Disney Plus. I'm sure they're spending a pretty penny on all those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it shows in the CGI or not, that's a different debate. But they're spending the money here to get the feel of a cinematic show, even though it's on TV. So it's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. I mean, to me, big budget is great. I love that you're investing your money into the show, but big budget doesn't equal good.
Nope.
So, you want to take a look at, we were just talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once. That whole film cost $25 million to make, and it's fantastic. So it lies in, there's a lot of elements. It lies in the story, the writing, the performances, and because we're talking, fantasy affects whether it's practical or CG. So there's a lot of elements, but first and foremost, I find that people can be very forgiving of like a so-so effect.
Yeah.
If you tell a good story. So I really, really hope it's good, because it's Lord of the Rings. And I love to see like the breakdown of where the budget's going to. Like, is it going to location, rights, writers? Are you paying them well? Actors, crew, costuming, all of that. Like, is that in CG and post-production? So I just wonder exactly where the $50 million per episode is going into.
I love it. Yeah, because there's no big stars. Is there for the Lord of the Rings one? I don't recall.
Let's take a look at the
big
cast.
Stars for the Lord of the Rings one, Rings of Power. Because I mean that's usually where a lot of your budget goes when you're doing a series or a TV show. I mean,
I don't think any. I mean, they're stars, but I don't think.
Cynthia Dye Robinson. These are not people that are demanding an insane amount of money. So it's just fascinating to hear about her. So clearly,
I mean, they should be paid well, but
absolutely, sure,
yeah.
But you're not seeing.
We will. Can we just agree that we're gonna work that into our report, our rating scale for the show? It'd be like, it doesn't watch like a 58 million. Sorry. Gross.
It's not feeling like that. It's not feeling like that at all.
Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. All right, let's Will Poulter was supposed to be the lead on that one, but exited. Yeah. So this is fascinating that they're sinking this much money into a show that doesn't have any real notable stars. So whereas you look at the Game of Thrones show, you've got Matt Smith, you've got other people that people know. Certainly Stranger Things 4 already, that entire cast of stars. So it's just like, okay, this is an interesting decision to make, to spend that much money on this show. And you're right, Wendy, if it's not received well, this is going to be a hell of a loss for them to take.
It really, it really could be, and that's what I worry about because they I feel like they're investing the money in it because they're confident about it and they want to try to tell a good story. So I really hope they nail the landing, stick the landing there.
I'm seeing more drivers peeing in bottles to make up for their loss. I'm just that, and I don't want that.
Oh God, terrible!
I don't want that. Is what I'm saying.
No, I know, but it just makes me think of like how terrible they're treated.
Yes. You got
anyways.
68 million for a show, but you can't.
Why don't you give that to your workers?
Exactly. I don't want to. Let's not get in trouble here. Anyway.
No, it's our opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an opinion.
Okay. Right. Should we move on to one more thing, or
one more thing because I know we have our guest coming. You know what? We could bring our guest in for this little bit because I think we can talk about the Lightyear trailer that just dropped.
Okay.
Yesterday,
because I don't think our guest's camera on. So when our guest's camera comes on,
then so we'll start talking about it, and then if she wants to pop in, she can pop in. But we had a trailer for the second trailer for Lightyear, which is the next Pixar full-length feature film featuring the voices of Keke Palmer, Chris Evans, Taika Waititi. That's the first time I feel like I've clearly heard his character. I feel like we've seen his character in the previous trailer, but this one, it was like prominent. And I saw that you did a trailer reaction to it.
I did. Then I did.
How did you like it?
Why? It only got 100-something views, and I was just like, all right, maybe I should have left it up.
Next time, put it on private so you don't feel that.
Oh,
yeah. So you retain the views.
Maybe you're right. But it didn't do well, so I was like, all right, I'm going to take it down. And probably because I talked about it on the Geek Buddies just a few hours earlier. So it's all about timing, ladies and gentlemen. I got to start getting up at 5 a.m. for God's sakes. Anyway,
okay.
What I'm trying to say here is I enjoyed the hell out of this trailer. I had a really great time watching this trailer. We got more of the story, more of what's going on with Lightyear. And what I thought was really fun was that we got to see Chris Evans, who in the previous trailers have been like, I'm very, hero voice. We got to see the Buzz Lightyear that Tim Allen created and the animators created from the animated series come through in the Buzz Lightyear moments here. I mean, him like talking into his arm and whatever. And is it Uzo Adoba who comes by and goes, no one listens to those, right?
Yeah,
because I think Kiki is her granddaughter.
Kiki's the granddaughter,
right? So that's Uzo and her saying like, no one listens to those. So I know. I just like to make it from it. So we're seeing that little kind of back on his heels type Buzz that's very interesting and fun to see coming through in the Chris Evans performance, which was nice to see. And that whole crew, and clearly Socks has some issues with everything that's happened. We're going 60 years into the future, so a little Planet of the Apes type thing. And also there were some Star Wars references. I thought it looked like Dagobah for where he landed.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, and so there's some little things like that I thought were really cool to see, and I enjoyed it. It looks great, and I hope it's good. I've seen some people reacting because they got to see the first few minutes of Lightyear and they weren't that positive about it, including our friend Scott Manzel over at the Hollywood Critics Association. So I got questions. I hope it's good. I don't really buy the unnecessary thing when people say that because they said that about Toy Story 4. Anytime we can spend more time with these characters and it's a good movie, then I'm okay with it. I don't care about unnecessary,
Yeah. If it's unnecessary to you, then you watch it and then you say, okay, I watched it and I did it. And then you let the other people have it if they like it. Exactly. I'm pretty excited about this. I also, though, I will say I was in kind of one of those camps, not necessarily like, this is so unnecessary, but more surprised of, oh, I didn't know we needed an origin story for Buzz, but yeah. Okay. The animation is stunning.
Yeah.
First of all. And I really liked Yeah, it looks cool. And they actually had the voice cast react to the trailer, and I thought that was super cute. That dropped this morning. I like it. I think with Pixar, they've always delivered really a lot of really fantastic films. I'm a big fan of Pixar, and I think with Toy Story franchise, I wonder if this could open the gate for further origin stories. Like now we have Buzz, we have Lightyear. And then it could be like they can call it the sheriff, for Woody or something like that.
This fall, the sheriff. Yeah, I can see it.
Doors open.
Right.
Tumbleweed.
Reach for the sky.
Reach. Yeah, it could be the first line. You hear like what are those the spurs on the back of the boots?
Yeah, the spurs.
Ching,
yeah.
Ching, 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 ching.
I like this idea from Senior Nerd 718. I got a theory that Tim Allen has a cameo in Lightyear, maybe as Buzz or Star Commander General. That's a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I could see that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I can see that too. I like that.
And we didn't see much of Zurg in that trailer, but certainly he's coming at some point. So we will see more of it. Oh my God. Late to the Party's in here. What's up, y'all?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Late to the Party. Sound advice there.
So you could get up at 5 a.m. or do what Wendy does and they do and don't sleep at all. Yeah. Well, I can't.
We don't sleep. We really don't.
You guys
sleep.
are incredible.
See these bags? That's because we don't sleep. I literally I will have I know I can text the rejects or Robert and Vanessa. Would be maybe not Vanessa because she has an adult job, but I can text Robert and I will text back and forth 4 a.m. no problem, because I know on Moon Knight nights we are not asleep, and I'm never mad that they text me because normally I'm awake.
You guys are incredible. I respect it. Well, let's welcome our guest in here. She is already ready. I can see the hat, the hat that she's wearing. This is going to be so much fun to bring her onto the show. We've been trying so hard to get her onto the show, and finally, timing wise, it has worked out. We hear her thoughts on the Lightyear trailer, but really hear her thoughts on K-pop and BTS and their experiences, doing all the things she's been doing lately. Just kind of talking about following, going to these concerts, and getting involved with everything with BTS. It's so much fun to welcome her to the John and Wendy. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Laura Sirikul to the show. What's up? Oh, Laura, let me take the thing down. Sorry about that. Boom.
There.
Oh,
can we take it all off?
Yeah, I think so. You're muted, Laura.
We can't hear you. Oh my God, her hat.
Hi guys. Sorry.
Hi.
As long as you see Army, it's on my my head. This Jin made a headband like this for one of the concerts in Seoul.
Wow.
And so I made it for when I went to the concert.
That's incredible.
Wow. Can I just say, Laura will take one peek at any of the members' Instagram if they have headwear, clothes, whatever. The next day she's got the exact thing, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it so fast, but it's incredible. Like I actually created, I think Jung, if you can put it up, Laura's just a 4-picture collage of her experience in Vegas, because she just, she's got these little filters for her army bomb. There's her in front of the Allegiant Stadium. And of course she had to dress as Abby from Turning Red, because Taeyoung from Four Town is essentially kind of inspired by Jimin. So we had to do it.
Right.
Had to do it.
Wow. Yeah. I passed out these photo cards of Taeyoung.
Oh, you have more?
I'm saving you one. Don't worry, I got you one. I got you, John, too. I know how much you want one.
Never met nobody. All right, sorry, we're talking about BTS.
Throughout the whole, and every time I walked past by some army, they would just be like singing that song with me, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" So I just reacted.
We know.
It was a great experience.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. So, Laura, the permission to dance in Vegas was split into 2 different weekends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was not aware. I thought it was a 4-day straight thing, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you only not went to the first weekend, but you also went back the second weekend.
Yeah. So I spent a total of 11 days in Vegas. So I did all my work from there, like my articles and editing there. But I came back for a day to just refresh in LA and go to a screening and stuff, and then came back went back to Vegas the next day. But yeah, it felt like it was a Coachella for BTS fans, like Army. Wow. It was like BTS Ella, it was our own festival. Like we took over Vegas, and it was amazing. Like even Vegas, for one of the nights, they did all their colors purple. Wow. Like, and the fountains, the Bellagio fountains played BTS music on the weekends for every hour, at the top of the hour. And they took over, and so many restaurants did BTS deals, and there was events and they had their pop-up. And so it was seriously like I've been to Coachella and Lollapalooza, so it was like that, where there's always something to do, even when there's not a concert day.
Wow.
That's amazing. So go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to ask, what was that experience like to spend? I mean, look at these shots here, the extended amount of time that you were spending there and seeing all the concerts. Like, does it ever, like, were you having new experiences every night? Did you hit a wall for yourself, or were you finding new things to discover about every single performance that maybe you had not noticed the night before, or were they just so good that every concert is uniquely different?
You know what? It's all of that. Honestly, it is uniquely different because they do have conversations after each set. Like they do like have conversations with the audience, and their interactions with each other changes too. Also, their performances are so good that watching it again, like even if it's the same performance, there's always something new to watch. Like whether or not like Jungkook, one of the members, Jungkook is like doing a different move, like he'll do a spin, and it's just he harmonizes differently. They always add something different to each show. Like everyone keeps asking me like, oh, because I've seen this show. I went to all four in LA. I watched all Seoul. I did all the live streams for Seoul, and I watched it. And it's the same set, but they add something new and creative to it, and their interactions like. It never gets boring for me. Like I've heard Permission to Dance so many times, and especially since the pop-ups replay it over and over again. And you're like, oh my God, I should be sick of this song, but you're just in such a high of being around fellow ARMY and people who love the same things as you do. So it felt like a religious experience, honestly. Like each time, like you just felt like you're just being like renewed, refreshed each time that you watch them.
Wow.
That's amazing. And I know that, following Laura's Instagram, as I stalked her on Instagram, I was like, I need to know what's going on at these concerts. So aside from the pop-ups, you also did like a BTS hotel room?
Yes. So
talk to us about that.
Yeah. So I did there was the NGM offered the VIP experience where you get a suite, like a hotel suite. You also get the hotel suite. That's the video. You get the hotel suite. It's a huge suite. You get your own private concierge. Who is at your beck and need. And they also provided gold soundcheck tickets. So it's within the first 8 rows of the barricade. And they get any food that you want. You get $500 food and drink credit. So
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you get $500. Yeah. So you get to order whatever food. I ordered a whole bunch of ramen because I was just like, I'm in BTS world. I'm gonna not ramen like the Korean ones. So I ordered a bunch of that stuff and Korean food. And then they also give you priority reservations to the BTS cafe, the special cafe that they created of Korean street food. A limo ride to and from the stadium and to and from the airport. They also picked up your merch for you, and that was a big deal because you have to wait hours for your merchandise. So I just quickly ordered it, and they picked it up for me.
What?
So I didn't have to wait. And then they also they gave, and when we came in, they gave us like a whole bunch of like BTS merch, like little like photo cards, which I collect. I'm one of those people. We collect photo cards, and they have like specialized BTS stuff that's just for people who stay at the BTS like hotels.
Wow.
And I not only did that one, I also stayed at a regular BTS hotel, and just so I could get the photo cards.
Wow.
How was your experience at the MGM Grand? I'm about to go to Vegas next week for CinemaCon.
Yeah.
So how was your experience at MGM Grand? Did you enjoy your time?
Yeah. The Skylofts. If you can try to do the Skylofts, and the great thing is, I know people are like, oh my God, it is a really high price. But the great thing is that it could fit a lot of people in that suite. If you decide to have roommates and stuff like that. And it just honestly saves so much time on everything, like picking up the merch. The concierge, one of the BTS members ate at this restaurant, and ever since he ate there, it's been difficult to get reservations. It is extremely difficult to get, and even the people at Carbone were like, people booked it in advance because they found out this guy, one of the members ate there. And so I was like, oh my God, I need to get it. And the concierge was like, I got you. And she got me reservations for the restaurant. And then I got to sit where the area where they were at because I'm crazy. And I took all the same photos that they did, like selfies. It's called selfies, so you have to do that. And I was just like, I need to do all the stuff that they went to. And so she booked all that stuff for me. I don't know. I'm crazy. It's really bad.
No.
But yeah,
it's BTS, because they're not here. If they were here all the time, it'd be maybe a little different. Where you're like,
I'm
okay,
so glad they're back in Korea. I need to live my life. I'm so glad they're back because now I get to focus on. I have so many assignments I have to do. So I'm like, oh my God, thank God they're in Korea because but they're coming back next month. So I'm kind of like, I need to save up so I could see them again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Laura's writing her assignments quickly so she can catch this.
The great thing is at the final concert, at the end, they left. They announced their comeback, which a comeback means like they have a new album, a new era of music coming out.
Oh, okay.
And so it was great to be among ARMY who love BTS just as much as I do. And it was like, it honestly felt like the whole stadium was shaking because we were all screaming about this comeback. They did a trailer for it and then they put the date and then you hear screams. Like, it was just like, it's been 2 years since they released an album. So it's like, it was such a thrilling experience to be there when they made this like a monumental announcement.
Yeah.
And among ARMY. And it honestly, like I've been a fan for years and it's great to just be like, it's still a pandemic, but it was great just to be with everyone again, and all fellow ARMYs cheering for them and cheering for something that's coming, something hopeful, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Feeling that connection for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was honestly like I think there's several articles, and I'm trying to write one too. Like, it was a religious experience. Like, it felt like you just felt like you felt like it's like a cult, but in a way that it's like a good one too, because
like a good cult. Oh, a good cult. Oh, okay.
Like, because BTS represents good things. Like they believe in Black Lives Matter. They raise money for charities. They really push for you loving yourself. Yeah. And their music talks about depression. If you listen to their older stuff and even the B album, it talks about depression. It talks about mental health. It talks about finding yourself and like loving yourself and ignoring the haters. And so not many people know that because it's in Korean, but they really come to people when you need them most. So I feel like being there and being around fellow ARMY and then the ARMY is not just teenagers and people my age in 20s, 30s. It's like ranges. There's like children, there's tons of men. They had a moment where they had all of the men ARMY scream and they were like, this sounds like a UFC arena. Because all of them were like, ah. I love it. Like, they were shocked. Like they were like, we never expected this in our life to have men like cheer for us. Wow. And so it honestly felt like it was a whole new experience, like the hotels and the pop-ups. It felt like I think people, when they go to Coachella, they were like, oh my God, this is such an experience. This is like that. Like, you just feel renewed and refreshed.
Come back different.
Depression. Oh yeah, I came back with like post concert depression. I'm just like, what do I do now? What do I do?
No more BTS.
Like, back in Korea, I can live my life, but it's so sad.
Out of all the pop-ups that I saw that there's one where you can try on the hanbok, which is the authentic Korean. What do you call it? Kind of like the traditional dress. You can get the spicy ramen, which, Laura, if you want more, I have a whole pack. They're too spicy for me.
Oh my God, I'm so tight, so I can eat that all day. Like,
okay. Next time I see you.
Yeah. They gave out a whole bunch for free, and I think they were trying to just get rid of it. And I was just like, you know what? I spent too much on BTS. Give me all the free stuff, so you can eat it, and until their comeback, and so I could save up on. So I've been eating ramyeon like every day.
I think I'm gonna have to make some for lunch.
What is this? Why do I have this picture?
Okay. This is
the best moment ever.
The famous Jungkook ab flash, which, by the way, if you guys weren't familiar with ab flash, it's just across K-pop as a genre. Like, it's a thing. They don't always do this. They're not on stage shirtless. Maybe Big Bang. I think it's the only one that I can prominently remember. Like Taeyong.
Well, NCT does. NCT.
Oh, yes.
Like yeah,
they do.
BTS are Puritans. So they, and on purpose, and not like because they know that they want fans to feel like something when they show a little bit of skin. Like even when they show clavicle, just their shoulder, like bone,
just right here,
you feel
just arms.
You feel
tank
something.
tops.
I feel like a Puritan that's never seen a man before. Like whenever they do anything, I'm just like, oh my god! Like just me recording. Yeah, you feel like it's like I've never seen a man before, and I have of me recording them doing fake love, and Jungkook's like buttons came off, so you see his chest, and I screamed in the video, "Why is he naked?" Well, and I didn't realize I said that, but I was just like, "Why is this man naked?" And I was just like screaming, like, "Oh my god!" And so yeah, like JK, like he just it. So anytime they show off anything, like people act like they've never seen flesh before.
It's true.
Puritan times.
And it's a quick flash too. It's a quick like boop, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a look at me.
We captured that shit. We had it in 4K.
Oh my god! Wow. Listening to you guys talk, it feels like the sequences in Turning Red, they authentically got that right. Like listening to you, because I've obviously never been to a K-pop concert or BTS concert or anything like that. So I'm watching from the outside in as Wendy's been slowly ingratiating me into this whole area of music and all the experiences and the do's and the don'ts of all of this stuff. So it's fascinating. And I'm watching Turning Red and I enjoyed those sequences. And then hearing you guys talk, it seems like they authentically got it right.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. It's you literally will see ARMY cry and laugh and scream at the same time.
Yeah,
like we're feeling all the emotions at the same time.
Like it's like crying, like screaming, like moaning, whatever. Like we go through all these like moments, and like even like one of the concerts, and I was like each day I had something different, but one of the days I was like in like a good section, but like behind me after the concert, I turned around and there were these older women, I call them titas, aunties, but they were crying. They were in tears, like they were emotional because of the concert, and it's just it's so beautiful to like that because they it felt like they were just like we finally here. We're so happy to experience BTS and their music and then what it means to them. So when I turned around just so I could say hi to ARMY and stuff, like I just see them in tears crying. I'm just like, this is beautiful just to have us all go through the emotions together. Right. I went through so many emotions where I was just like, and like, I don't want to post my videos because you hear me in the background, like either I'm crying, I'm like going, oh my God, look at him. Or I'm like grunting because I'm like doing their dance moves. I'm like, like it was Turning Red. It is like Turning Red where you're just like, oh my God, like, oh, like you're just feeling.
I'm telling you right now, you better post. You need to post those videos. Your following will skyrocket if you post those videos.
But I actually posted the LA one, and I finally went through the comments, and someone wrote, "This is the best reaction I've ever heard in my life." See? And I was just like, because like you hear me go, "Oh my God, he's naked! He's naked! Why is he naked?" Like, put
the clothes back on. Two of yours.
We'll do it for
Zach Mendoza in the chat is asking, who is Laura's bias in BTS?
Oh, I'm glad you asked because I have these.
Do you have all 7?
No, I do have an OT7 in the back right there.
Oh, nice.
But I have my 2 biases, my 2
so it's Jin, and J-Hope.
Yeah. So I do have and I do have my dolls of them too.
Oh my God.
I don't have the dolls, but I have my RM, my BT21.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. This is what you hold. I held signs for them throughout the and then I had little signs. I had Yoongi Marry Me, which is a thing for BTS fans. Yeah. But yeah, I have my bias line and Jungkook too. Oh wait, I actually do have I carry these photos of them.
The
my God.
boyfriends. I kid you not, Laura takes them everywhere. I saw her at what premiere was it?
I went to several. Like I took it to Moon Knight. I took it to
Moon Knight. And she brought the boyfriends. Never leave home without them.
Yeah, I never leave home without them. I take them with me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
J-Hope is also Zach Mendoza's bias. Hobie.
Yeah, Hobie.
Hobie.
Nice.
So,
yeah, he actually did a heart to me.
Oh my gosh.
I was on the floor and I had a sign.
I would have fainted.
Happy. I actually got to hold his hand at one point too.
What?
Huh?
Yeah,
what?
At the James Corden show, my friend got me in, and we were like a foot away from them, and like Hobie came and he was dancing, and then I reached out my hand, and he held it, and I was just like, I honestly,
soul left your body.
My soul left my body. I did not know where I was or what I was doing. If you ask me who I was, I'll be like, I don't know.
I feel like at this point, the members of BTS would know Laura's face at this point. Like they've gotta.
But that'd be creepy. I don't want them to know that.
I mean, you're going so much. You post about it all the time. I mean, I can't imagine they don't.
I'm hoping that they read my Snoop Dogg scoop. Like when I reported that, I reported. I was the one who interviewed Snoop Dogg and got the confirmation that he was doing a collaboration with BTS, and so I published it with one of the outlets, AV Club, and it went everywhere. And then because I'm an ARMY too, everyone's like, yeah, support, and RM mentioned like, oh, Snoop Dogg collaboration. Oh, what do you mean? Like, so I'm hoping he somehow saw that this person wrote that.
I think so. They read everything. You know they do.
Why wouldn't they? Yeah, exactly.
You know they do.
Yeah.
So we think we might be seeing this collab happen for the June album, the comeback album.
I'm hoping we'll see. I don't know, because the collaboration might be a remix of stuff, because they've Snoop Dogg has worked with K-pop. He worked with 2NE1, who just performed at Coachella, and he's worked with Psy, but he's done song collaborations with them, but he's also done remixes of the songs, like Girls' Generation. He did a remix. So we don't know. Nothing's confirmed. Because like when I asked Snoop Dogg to further elaborate, he was just like, "You gotta talk to the BTS guys." Like,
he's not allowed to say.
Yeah. So I think
he knew.
Safe. And so I think any chance I get, I'll ask a question about BTS if I'm on the carpet.
Work it into all of your junket questions.
Like, hey.
Who's your bias?
Yeah, like when I did the Turning Red, when I moderated, I made sure to mention BTS when I moderated the panel. I was just like, hey, so the Four Town, who inspired the Taeyong character? Was it BTS or was it this? So it was. I always try to incorporate BTS in my conversations.
I love that. Well, I love that your experience has been that you were so good at posting. I think for a lot of the ARMY who either can't afford to go to the concert or just wasn't able to get in, I think that was a really nice treat because I saw a lot of people's footage just kind of the concert and a lot of shaky cam, which is fine, because I watch them all, but yours kind of was a little bit more in depth. So I appreciated seeing that. And you brought up a couple of names that I do want to talk about because we have a whole K-pop corner segment on the show. So you talked about 21. So for any newer K-pop fans, and maybe for Rocha too, 21 is, are they second generation or first generation? Second generation. They're, I think, the first or second girl group out of YG Entertainment, which is the same entertainment agency that houses Blackpink. So they were unfortunately disbanded. They honestly weren't a group for that long, and that was kind of sad because it was sort of sudden. And their leader, CL, has been, crossed over to she's left YG. She's with, I think, under P Nation now, which is Psy's own talent agency. So he develops and trains the upcoming or existing idols like Jessie, like Hilna, and I think D1 maybe. But
I think Huna won because they're
I think so too. So CL had a whole set at Coachella under the 88 Rising set, which is a lot of Asian artists on stage at Coachella, and she had a short set, and she performed some of the songs, and then she kind of comes off stage, and then the smoke comes through, and you see 4 very recognizable silhouettes, and that is the members of 21. So this was kind of a reunion / comeback. It's not really a comeback because I don't know if they're going to continue to perform as a group, but CL as one of the best leaders in K-pop, I think she obviously was, there was a lot of hurt with what happened with 21. So she tries to bring back the girls as much as she can. And if you watch the video that I included in our show notes, Rocha, this one girl's face at the 1 minute and 1 second mark in the audience, that is probably me and Laura's face when we watched. Because no one was expecting her to bring back 21 to perform their hit song, I Am the Best. So when I heard that, and I was like, wait, is this happening? And then it went through the, the turning red emotions. I laughed and I cried and I screamed. And Dustin's like, are you okay? It was absolutely insane. And it just was such a treat for fans. And I hope that the fans who know them enjoy that moment, and the new fans who didn't know about them can now go back and listen to some of their songs because they're pretty iconic.
Oh my god, they were first second generation, and it's amazing how just to watch them come together. Sandera looked amazing. Like all of them looked amazing, and it's been a long time, and they've had a lot of issues with their old label and stuff, and so it's great and refreshing because you know what, K-pop, the wave, the Hallyu wave tried to be as big as BTS back in the day. Like I remember when Big Bang and Girls' Generation, they Girls' Generation was on not Stephen Colbert, Tonight Show and stuff, but it didn't hit. It didn't like it. They I mean, I love them and I still follow them, but throughout the time, but it couldn't stick. And so it's the fact that BTS really created this big thing where other groups can come without the hassle of dealing with even though they still deal with it, xenophobia, but it seems like it's they paved the way to make it easier for even older K-pop groups to come back. I feel like everyone's all like, oh, Big Bang, they're doing a comeback, and it's great, and they were huge here, they had their moment here, but I feel like they're able to come back to America and all these other groups are able to come to America because they're riding the K wave now.
Well, I mean, and speaking of which, I'm going to play this. I might get in trouble for this, but I'm going to play this.
Just play 8 seconds of it.
See if I can play 8 seconds of it. I don't know if I can. We'll see if I can or not. I don't know if I can play 8 seconds of it, but we'll see if I can put it
2
together.
Seconds.
You want me to just say nigga chalaga?
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Hey.
Let me get out of some other windows here because I want to play this because I found this, and apparently it's BTS has even crossed over into The Simpsons. And I don't know if you guys saw this.
Oh, what? They were on
breaking news.
I didn't know they were
breaking news.
Here's
what about your family? My family now is Carrie Underwood, Taylor Swift, and all of them Mumfords, and everyone in BTS except for Jungkook. He's too purty for my taste.
There it is on The Simpsons. Referencing BTS. Thoughts on that, Laura and Wendy?
Laura, you go first.
You know what? They are a cultural phenomenon. They are a global
clearly.
Sensation. They were mentioned on several TV shows, and it's always great that when they mention them in a positive way because it's been always been joking about boy bands and stuff like that. And I'm so happy to see them being mentioned in such a positive light and such a big cultural expansion like The Simpsons and there's other shows that mention them too, and even Peacemaker, because I know John Cena's an army, and so he mentioned them like BTS, and it's always amazing to have them be mentioned. Like the Neighborhood CBS show mentioned how awesome J-Hope is, and so I was like, oh my God, this is so great to see BTS getting their recognition.
Yeah. I mean, and Apple Fitness Plus is apparently that they're gonna create a curated dance workout to BTS's music for International Dance Day on April 29th, coming up here in just a few days.
Ooh.
So that's all happening as well to get people to subscribe, be a part of this, and dance along to it and get in shape for it as well. So clearly crossing over in so many ways. And even Chris Martin on Coldplay said that he felt their collaboration with BTS, they'll never top that. It just right out, straight out said it. So clearly there's a lot of positive feelings around BTS and over the and by extension K-pop overall by a number of artists, as you mentioned Snoop Dogg earlier in your interview, AV Club, all this stuff happening here in a positive way. So I'm wondering how much more it will spread, how much bigger it can get at this point. We've seen, it's been a slow kind of burn over the last few years, and now it seems to be really seeing the fruits of that labor. Some other groups came first, they crawled so these groups could now run, and you're seeing them taking advantage of this and exploding all over the place. What do you sense from this movement here, or what do you sense from this music? How much longer do you think it'll go? How much further do you think it'll go in terms of the amount of groups, and when do they start crossing over to be consistently part of the Billboard and the top 10, the top 20? When do you think that starts to happen?
I don't know if Wendy wants to say anything about that, or like.
No, you go ahead.
But definitely, for BTS, I know for them, even though they don't need it, their ultimate goal is winning the Grammy. So they can recognize a Western. They've been nominated twice. I think they're going to win next year for Coldplay's collaboration, which is sad that they have to win for a collaboration. But there's still xenophobia within the association. Sure. But honestly, I think that's why I love that they had the concert, because BTS were like, you know what, we were going for the Grammys, but we're going to go to be with ARMY and have these sold out shows. We only sold out the Allegiant Stadium for shows. We also sold out the MGM, which had the live stream of the show. Right. And so I think, I know HYBE and and the Korean government, it's kind of like, it's kind of like showing that the Western standards that we were able to obtain. So I know that their goal is a Grammy, but it's not necessary for ARMY for us to accept that. But it's for me, I feel like that's their goal, and I feel like I feel like they are part of the mainstream, but of cultural stuff. Yeah. But I think for them, it's like the Western cultural thing where they will win awards within it becomes normalized, where it's like BTS is winning the awards. I was there for the AMAs when they won all the awards, what they deserved. Yeah. And it was great, because the thing is, I dislike American companies utilizing BTS but never giving them the recognition. Right. And so last year, the Grammys totally used them in the grand scheme of their commercials and everything, and held back their performance till the very end because they want viewers going. And that just shows that their cultural strength. But they're still not. I feel like they still won't be part of the mainstream until they start winning awards, the awards that they deserve. Right. And not just be utilized for it. That's why I like the Oscars, even though the controversial stuff, but I only like the one BTS part of the Oscars, because they didn't advertise that they were going to have BTS on there. Right. They just and they had it, and it was normal that, hey, BTS is a big cultural thing. And it just, for me, it's oh, wow, I'm really glad they didn't utilize them, but it's normalized that BTS is there. Yeah. And I feel like once we have that kind of aspect where it's we don't need to announce BTS is there, we just see BTS is there. That's when it's they will feel we feel better about it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we're at the 2-hour mark, so it's 2:00 right now. So are we letting Laura go here, Wendy? What are we doing here?
Why don't we wrap up the show by talking about some of our what we've been watching, reading, or playing or listening to? Laura, we have at the end kind of a recommendation corner. Mm-hmm. So for this week, I kind of fell back into one of the podcasts that's not new, but I haven't listened to in a while, and I picked it back up. And if you're into true crime, then you probably have heard of My Favorite Murder. And I know there's many, many, many murder true crime podcasts out there, but the reason I like Karen and Georgia and the way they kind of approach it is they do it in a comedical way, not because they want to make fun or make light of the situation. It's just that the situation is heavy and quite traumatic for some to listen to and experience through the podcast. So they kind of do a bit of a comedy dive into it to kind of lessen a little bit of that, but they still take it very serious. And also just their chemistry with each other. I think their back and forth is hilarious. So I've been back on that My Favorite Murder train. What about you guys?
What do you got going on, Laura? I mean, you've been writing and covering all this stuff. What have you got to recommend, or what are you watching right now?
Well, I just wrote up a thing for the Blacklist for this, like the NBC show that I'm addicted to right now, and I'm writing for EW for the about the series.
Or Blacklist?
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah, with James Spader. It's on the 9th season.
Wow.
On its 9th season, and James Spader. Just like I keep thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna get sick of this show because like James Spader is playing the same guy, whatever. Like, but I every time I watch it, I'm just like, even if I like, I get assigned things and I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just write it. But this is like a show that I'm actually like, give me the screener. Like, right. I need to watch this. Like, there's other shows I'm like, but I will like say that this show I actually look forward to every week, and it surprises me each week.
Yeah.
And so I really right now I just finished. I just submitted it so I could post tonight for tonight's episode. But nice. It's James Spader is just, that man needs more awards. Like, even though like I feel like I don't even know how many awards he's gotten, but he needs all his flowers. That man is unproblematic and is an amazing actor. And I feel like, yeah, he's making his bread, with this show, but I feel like he needs to get more recognition for that.
I mean, I grew up with that guy. I mean, that guy's my 1980s. He was the jerk. He was the 80s bad guy in the 1980s films. And so to see him progress and change and morph and keep working. I mean, I was a huge fan of Boston Legal. So for many years, it was such a great show. So him sliding into Blacklist, and Megan Boone is a Florida State University graduate, which I am as well. We're alumni. So I was cheering for that show the first few seasons it was on. I eventually dropped off because other things got in the way, but to hear that it's still going without Megan, and it's very much focused on James going into a 9th season, clearly he is TV gold. You cast James, and you might be in for a while.
Yeah, and his depth too, because like sometimes I'm like, oh, he's good at playing bad guys, but there's so many layers that he brings to the character, and I'm just like, James Spader needs, he needs more awards.
Yeah. He's won for the Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for Boston Legal and for The Practice. He was also nominated. And for the SAG Award, he won. He was nominated for Outstanding Performance in a Comedy Series for Boston Legal and The Office, but there's been no nominations yet for Blacklist, unfortunately. So just the situation. So he's got a little bit of flowers, but not, as Laura said, not a lot of flowers. So that's fair to be asking for more. For me, it's Barry. I got to see the first 6 episodes of the new season of Barry that drops tomorrow or Sunday night. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm only 6 episodes in, and I'll tell you this, it's the best season of Barry I've ever seen. It's no lie. Everything that they laid out in the first 2 seasons, they go to the next level with. They deal with the trauma that we got a glimpse of with Sally last season. Barry's got to deal with what he's going to do now that he shot up all these people, essentially kind of put himself out of a job. What is he going to do now? Fuchs is kind of out in the wilderness somewhere. How is he going to come back and mess with Barry? NoHo Hank is doing his thing with Crystal Ball, and they're trying to run this organization together. It's so interesting as we go into season 3. And I think Sarah Goldberg, where Barry has been the kind of, Bill Hader has been the kind of lead here. Sarah Goldberg kind of slowly morphs into the lead of the series here in this season that I think is fascinating. And don't be surprised if she gets nominated for an Emmy down the road for her work as well this season. I'm only 6. There's 4 episodes left, and it's already the greatest season of Barry. So just
oh my god, I actually have that sitting in my inbox. I haven't, because I came back. I'm like, oh my god, I need to watch that.
I'm telling you, it's incredible. Outer Range is good as well. So the first 2 episodes of Outer Range, and then We Own the City, the John Bernthal one, that is coming as well. Put that on your list, ladies.
Oh yeah,
that one's good.
Yeah. That's what I got. All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. I know you guys got to get some Stray Kids tickets, so we got to get on out here. Much love to Laura for joining us. Laura, please tell people where they can find you and everything going on, please.
You can find me at Laura Sirikul on my Twitter and my Instagram. I post, my Instagram is filled with BTS stuff, so if you want to right now it's just BTS because I'm still at my high. It's L Sirik, LSRIK. But on Twitter, I try to do a mixture of both my work and my BTS. But I write for a whole bunch of places, Nerdist, IGN, EW, Empire, and there's a color, a few places. I'll be tweeting wherever I write for. But yeah, but on IG, if you go on IG, it's all BTS right now. So just so you know.
There we go. I definitely follow her and everything she's got going on. Wendy, where can they follow you as well?
Now you can follow me across all socials at just my name, Wendy Lee Zaney. And if we can't get Stray Kids tickets, you'll find me in bed with ice cream crying.
Right. Yes, I don't want to get in trouble with either of these two ladies trying to get Stray Kids tickets. As for me, you can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch, and my podcast, The Top 10 Cinephiles, and the Geek Buddies, all out there for you to enjoy. We also dropped the finale of We Crashed that is on the Hollywood Critics Association YouTube channel. Me, Nikki Fallon, Griffin Schiller talking about the finale of We Crashed and breaking it all down. So please go and watch that as well. All right. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. Have a great weekend. Send much love to these two ladies. Try to get them Stray Kids tickets. And we'll talk to you next time.
Kids, manifest them.
Of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.